Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Paper Rose Studio, I have Rainbow Village 6x6 paper collection and also embossed die cuts. Guys, I used these to make this sweet little card, and this is our giveaway card for this episode, you guys. So if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer could win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, let's take a look at the 6x6 paper collection. This is 18 double-sided pattern papers, 3 of each of 12 designs. So let's take a look. There's some great little cutouts featured on this, so pause to read. And then on the back side, these beautiful tiles with a beautiful rainbow color. And then we have the gorgeous stand of trees with all the details on them, absolutely gorgeous. And on the other side, this beautiful spread of flowers. And then you've got this like rippling effect. In the background, we've got some script writing, and you've got all of the swirls happening in this rainbow color. The other side, we've got a white background with the splatters. Another full sheet of cutouts, so pause to read those. And then on the other side, all these cute little mushrooms. I am a sucker for mushrooms. And then we've got these crazy little birds on white background. And then the wood with the like white type print on it in the rainbow. And then we pretty much start all over again. Except I didn't show you, I don't think I showed you, on the back of, no, this is a separate one. This is another sheet of cutouts. And then on the back of this one, you've got this kind of a light blue background. It's kind of reading white here, but there's a very light blue background with the beautiful butterflies. Then I'll make sure some of these didn't get messed up, and we've got them all. Yep, that's it. And then those repeat. Okay, so such a fun collection. Let's check out this one first. This one was a great one to do with scraps. This is a 6.5 by 5-inch card. And then I took like 2-inch wide, 1.5-inch wide, 1-inch wide, just strips, okay? And cut them down in the length as well. And just started out with a longer one, a shorter one, and then even a shorter one. And then I added, these are our colorful oval dazzle stickers. And then if you can just see those, we don't have to zoom in, but you can see there's 3 different sizes of little ovals on your hair. Actually, yeah, 3 sizes, 1, 2, 3. In between each of the oval borders is a little pattern border like this. It's what separates the ovals. So I used those little diamonds here and here. Then I just took some white cardstock, took one of those little cutouts from this one right here, cut that out, and then put a little bit of foam tape between that, and then some white cardstock for just a little mat there to separate it from all the color. Then I took some of these adorable embossed die cuts. I added a little bit of glue just to the base under the body, and then a little foam tape to give those wings a little lift. And then I took little leftover I had from this border and just put it right there. So really easy, simple card to put together. So speaking of these embossed die cuts, let's take a look at this. You're getting 4 sheets. They're 6 by 8. They are already die cut, so you just pop them out. But look at the little clear embossing that's on them. Okay, it just adds so much detail. They actually have a little texture. Okay, so cute. You've got some tags, you've got some shapes, you've got your crazy little birds, you've got your mushrooms, your little fairy houses. Okay, so cute. These were really fun to use. And this one. And then this one. All have those clear embossing on. Okay, so yeah, I just used, and then on the butterflies, there's several different sizes. There's kind of a large, medium, and a small situation going on. I use the medium ones on this one. Okay, also you guys, here's a little 5 by 5 card, but you know what? I actually started out with a 5 by 6.5 inch card on this one. And then I cut the card down to 5 by 5, and I kept this 1.5 inch wide strip. Let me show you what I did with it. So covered the card front because I wanted to add a little more color to the front. So I used our pearlescent cardstock basics, okay? And this one has some really beautiful colors in it. You get a really good price on this on Paper Wishes because when we first ordered it, it says pearlescent, but we didn't think the pearlescent was very good, and it's very hard to see on here, so we discounted it. But it's still awesome cardstock, and Debbie and I use it all the time, so I would definitely pick up this pack. It's totally worth it. It's 20 sheets. So I used that, and I covered my card with this lavender. Then I just took a strip of that splatter paint and a strip of the mushroom, put one of those purple oval border dazzles right across the center, and then took one of the cutouts and then just matted it with a little bit of the same lavender, but I put foam tape in between. So there's a foam tape between the greeting and the mat, and then the mat and the card. And then added a little 1/8 inch grosgrain ribbon, which I love to use. And then when you open it up, you guys, this little pop-out feature, which is so simple. So first of all, I took some of that barnwood paper. I took 2 sheets of it, and I cut it down. Since it's a 5 by 5 card, I cut it down to 4 3/4 of an inch for each one square, glued them on either side, and then I took this little leftover strip, remember? So this is 1.5 inches tall, and then if it's folded, it's 5 inches. If it's opened, okay, it's 10 inches. And then because I'm just using part of the card, it's already scored right here at the 5 inch mark. And then you can either use your scoreboard, or you can just fold it to the center. Okay, so I'm just going to do that here. This is such an easy card to put together. There. All right, and so then you're going to open it up like this, so it's basically a W shape. And then once your card is covered with paper, you just glue these end pieces down so that your card, so it lays flat. But you're only gluing this panel right here, right up to the fold, glue and glue or tape. And then you're gluing them down like this so that when you open the card, it pops forward. Now you may have to sort of train the centerpiece because sometimes it wants to go like this. So you just kind of pop it up like that, and then it'll close like this, and it'll stay popped open. And then once I got it to this point right here, I just took some of that white splatter paper and I cut those down to fit within each panel. And then I just glued these little pieces in from the cute little set of die cuts. We've got some of the different mushrooms here. And then I forgot to grab it, you guys, but this is from our orange script greeting dazzle stickers, okay? And I just put sending love there. So yeah, that's a fun one. Okay, let's get to the card I showed you in the opening. So on this card, this is our giveaway card, so I'm going to tell you about it first, and then I'll tell you about the giveaway, and then I have another project to show you. This is 5 by 6.5 inches, and I'm going to take my ruler. I cut away, like 2 1/4 inches from just the card flap. I have no idea why I chose that random amount. I probably used a card that I had already cut away. And then I wanted to cut the weight down on the card a little bit because I knew I wanted to cover the back with cardstock, and it would just weigh a lot if I put cardstock on the front and back. Okay, so especially this pearlescent cardstock is a nice heavy weight. So I just took my teal ink pad and I just went around my card flap and I just inked the edges of that. All right, and then went ahead and cut down some of this beautiful, this paper right here with the tree stand. It's so pretty. And I cut that down to 4.5 inches by 6. And I just went and glued it on just this flap. Then I took some of those blue oval jewel dazzle stickers and just placed them along this edge And then on the inside, took some of that pastel cardstock and just lined the back side of my card, and I put another length here. So when you close it, it looks like it's pretty even on each side. And then on the back of this card, you have this really nice border, okay, on the back of this paper. But then I just took a little strip of this barnwood cardstock that I had left over from cutting this down, and I just glued that right there. And then I added another one of those jewel borders. I took one of the cutouts and I matted it with some leftover cardstock here, glued that right there. So there's just basically something happening on this side. And then added some teal Jewel Dazzle stickers, and love using my little jewel picker with those. Just pop that off. It's got a nice little tacky, sticky end. And then you can just kind of swirl that around on there, and it lifts that up. And then you can easily place it wherever you want to have it. So highly recommend. I'm going to stick this back on here so it's not stuck to my clothes. Sometimes I go home and they have Jewel Dazzle stickers stuck to me. And then this one, I just took a little mat of those little crazy birds. It's 3.5 inches by 4 1/4. Glued that to the center, glued one of the little cutouts there, put Jewel Dazzles there. Easy card to do. Inking the edge here took away a layer of cardstock for a mat, and I could have easily done the back side too. So if you're looking for ways to cut down the weight of your card, there you go, there's some tips. All right, so here's my last project for you. I used our explosion card cutting dies, okay, to make this fun little box. See, I can decorate it with the cute little butterflies, one of the little cutouts there, some more of these little teal Jewel Dazzles, and when you open it up, mine didn't flap down like it should, but when you open it up, you get this beautiful sort of layers of all of this color. And even on the other side, you guys, there's stuff to look at. You go all the way around. I used paper. I used little greeting cutouts. I used the die cuts. And then I used like little strips of paper right here just to kind of fill things. Go all the way around. Front is there. And this little house is so cute. And my big tip on making this, I'm going to show you the cutting dies in a moment, is when you have a direction, okay? So here is the top of my lid, and this is going to notate the direction of my little greeting on there when the person opens it. So I like to put mine so there's a greeting in the center, and that there's a top, there's a bottom, there's a left, there's a right. Now, you could turn the thing sideways, okay, but I kind of like having it like this so they can turn it around. But I do like having this part right here in the right direction, so when they're opening it up, it's not upside down right here. But you could do whatever you would like to do. So you'll just notice that it goes like this, that it's a nice straight line of all the images going in the same direction, okay? So let's talk about how I made this. So the cutting die has all of these. Not only do we give you an idea right here for a project, but it's got little pictures of how to put it together, and then also written directions, which is really nice to use. Not a lot of companies do that. So we've got 4 pieces of cutting dies. And the instructions say to tell you, they tell you how many to cut out for each layer. So for example, for this blue layer right here, the first layer, you're going to cut out 5 of these. Well, you may wonder, well, there's only 4 flaps. Well, this one right here is actually one of these pieces, and then we have you cut the flap off. That's just to save how much metal we're giving you. The more metal we have, the more expensive the die is. So we thought that's really easy, just go ahead and cut that off. And then you're going to take the rest of these and you follow the instructions about just gluing the flaps along the bottom of each piece. And so you do that 3 times, just like that, with those 3 pieces. And then you glue them together, tape them together, whatever you want to do, and you nest them. And when I'm nesting them, I like to just make sure that each one of the little corners has about the same amount of space in it. And that's how I kind of get my direction. You don't want to be over too far, okay? And then you can use, to make these spaces, use the next size down. So if I use this one right here, then I use the next size down. I cut this out 4 times, trim off the flaps, and glue those to the largest one. And then this next one, use the smaller one. So this is the next size. And then once those flaps are glued together, then I took the next smaller one. I cut out 4 of these, trimmed off the flap, glued those right there. The smallest one, this one, it doesn't have one that's smaller than this. So you can either trim these down, not put paper on them. I just put little embellishments on them from the book cutout. And then for the lid, we give you really good instructions on how to do that. It's pretty much the same thing. You take one of these, cut the flap off, and then you die cut 4 of these. That's the little sides right here. And you're gluing this flap right here. And you do that all the way around, gluing these under. Now, if you go to the product page on paperwishes.com, you'll see a demonstration video on how to do this. So just wanted to give you a little heads up to show you that it's really easy to put together and fun. It's one of my favorite dies. All right, you guys, let me tell you about our card giveaway. So for our card giveaway, we are promoting our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So all you have to do if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page is hop on over to YouTube and search our channel name, which is My Paper Wishes. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then this video, we ask that you give it a thumbs up, so like it, and then also leave us a comment. And then after about a week, we'll come back and we'll say, hey, YouTube username blank, you've won, here's how to collect your card. So you do have to know your YouTube username. If you've forgotten what that is, you haven't used it in a long time, just look at the comment that you left and how it's labeled, because it's labeled with your username, and that should help you out. Also a good idea to hit the notification bell at the top right-hand corner, because that will let you know when we're either dropping a new video or announcing a winner, because we do card giveaways every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos. Basically, if I'm hosting a video, Lene, we're doing a card giveaway. There's also a big red badge on the front of our YouTube channel that says it's a card giveaway. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Maybe we could zoom out a little bit, Jeanette. And we hope you participate in our card giveaway. And remember, that's this one right here. We have a fantastic money saver right there on the right-hand side on our Paper Wishes webisode page. All the other items are listed down below the video, and there's also full color photos. If you click on that, it'll give you a more detailed example of all the products we used on each card. If you're watching us over on YouTube, it would be great if you would subscribe. It helps our small company grow. And there's a link that'll direct you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.